Hello, hello, welcome back to Math is Easy Step by Step. We're continuing the series of finding zeros in functions by using factoring. And I just finished with 3 examples of finding the greatest common factor in factoring. And now I'd like to go over how you can factor by grouping. And when you see an expression or equation like this, where you have x to the third power, second power, invisible one power with a consonant, most likely you're going to factor by grouping. Now you can guess and check, try to find two numbers that would multiply to a -8 and add up to a -4, but then we got these expression values in these terms, these exponential values. So it gets a little confusing, but if you can always try factor by grouping, and typically this is what the problem is going to look like. You're going to group in parentheses all 4 terms. 2 terms on the right, 2 terms on the left. Let's just get right on into it. Thank you for joining me here today. So for step 1, what you're looking to do, and first off, I just want to say and emphasize, you can put a plus sign between any 2 terms. It's not going to change a thing. It's only going to clarify. Okay. So here, step 1, group 2 terms on the left side inside parentheses, and then group the 2 terms on the right side inside parentheses. And that's what I've done. X cubed plus 2x squared inside the parentheses. -4x minus or plus a -8. You can look at it, they're both the same thing. Inside parentheses. I'm showing my invisible one associated to the exponent's place with this x to clarify, because I know we're going to be doing some multiplications eventually. So I want to show that invisible one. And then, of course, I'm putting a plus sign between these 2 parentheses, these 2 terms. But as you can see, -4x plus a -8 is still the same, just inside parentheses. X cubed plus 2x squared, still the same, inside parentheses. Put a plus sign between these 2 parentheses, okay? Let's move on forward. Let's keep on keeping on. All right, so now step 2 is you want to determine what coefficient and or variable, x, y, and z, those are variables, can be divided equally into each of the terms inside the groups. So when I say groups, I mean inside these parentheses here, okay? So what can be divided into -4x to the first power? That can also be divided into -8, right? I'm going to factor out each parenthesis one at a time. So I know that I can divide a -4 into -8 evenly without a remainder. And I know I can divide a -4 into -4. And because the -8 does not have an x value, that's where I stop. I can factor out a -4 from each of those terms. Looking over here, what term can I bring out of both of these? What terms did both of these 2 terms share? Well, I have a 2 here and a 1 in front of that x. It's invisible, but it's a 1x to the third power. So I cannot factor out a 2, but what about x to the second power? There's 2 x's with this term, and there's 2 x's with this term. At least 2. There's actually 3. So I can factor out an x to the second power in each of those terms. So that's kind of where my head is at, and that's kind of the questions you should be asking yourself when you're working this particular problem. Now, if you don't know that, I would love to show you expanded form. And in a moment, in video number 13, I'm going to continue to show you how to do this without using expanded form. Excuse me, I want to keep those terms here. All right, so -4x to the first power is a -2 times a +2 times x. -8 is a -2 times 2 times 2. And what I should have done to clarify is we're not multiplying these terms. There's a big old plus sign. We're going to be adding, right? Because up here, you can put a big old plus sign between two terms, and you are good as gold. So again, I just spotted a mistake. I'm going to be moving on. Mistakes are golden. They help you learn like nothing else will. All right. With these terms here, I know x cubed is x times x times x plus plus 2x squared is 2 times x times x. So again, this is expanded form, and this is going to help me to determine, hey, what can I divide evenly into both of these terms, right? And I know -2, and I have a -2 with this term. I have with the -8 a -2 and a -2, which gives me -4. So I can divide -4 into both of those terms. Over here, you can see I have at least 3 x's plus 2x to the second power. So I have 2 x's here and at least 2 x's here. So with these terms in the parentheses, I'm going to divide x squared to both of these sides. And with the terms here, I'm going to divide a -4. And that's what I'm showing you now. Moving forward, I'm using expanded form to just eliminate values that will simplify to 1, right? And so here I'm just showing you 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1 times x. I'm left with an x, right? Oh, I want to bring down that plus sign because I forgot. I don't want to skip any steps. I want to go nice and slow. And as you can see here, -2 over -2 cancels. 2 over 2 cancels to 1. What am I left with? I'm left with 2. So x plus a +2 on the right side. Over here on the left side, x over x cancels. X over x cancels. I'm left with just 1x plus plus. On this side, the x's will cancel. 2 times 1 times 1 is 2. X plus 2 on the left side. And so since we're factoring by grouping, whatever we're dividing the terms by on the outside, I want to pull out side the parenthesis here. So it would be a -4. It's going to go outside the parentheses. Whatever's remaining, x plus 2 stays on the inside. Over on this side, I have a x plus 2 on the inside. That will stay inside the parentheses. What am I dividing? I'm dividing an x squared. That will now go on the outside of the parentheses here. Again, I'm dividing by a -4, so that stays on the outside. The remainder, x plus a -2, x plus a +2, I almost made another mistake, stays on the inside. That -4 again is on the outside. Plus. What am I left with? 1x plus a +2. 1x plus a +2. What did I divide to both sides? That was an x squared. So I'm going to keep that on the outside of the parentheses. You want to place those terms that you divided again on the outside, and the remainder is going to stay on the inside. The remainder is going to stay on the inside. I do not like rushing, so I'm going to make a continuation video. It'll be part 13 to continue working on factor by grouping because we're not quite finished, right? We're going to take x squared plus a -4 and put it inside parentheses. And then here, these two terms are the same. We're going to put them inside parentheses, but I don't like to rush. I take it step by step. I'm going to create another video. I hope you can join me. Thank you for being here. Math is easy. Take it step by step.